He was not afraid of getting fired. He was afraid of the version of getting fired he had been running in his head for 3 years. The conversation with his wife, the look on his parents' faces, the gap in his resume, the downward spiral that followed. He had imagined it so many times. It had acquired the texture of memory. The thing that had not happened felt more real than the life he was actually living. Aristotle called this a specific kind of suffering. The suffering of people who live primarily in the hypothetical. He wrote about eudaimonia, the flourishing life, and he said it was impossible for a person who had given the future more authority than the present. Not because the future does not matter, because the future, before it arrives, is fiction, and we are suffering from fiction we wrote ourselves. Notice something right now. Think of your largest worry at this moment. Not the surface one. The one underneath, the one you return to at 3 a.m. How many times have you thought this exact thought? 100? 1,000? Has the thinking ever resolved it? Or has the thinking only ever generated more thinking? Seneca had a practice he called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Sit with the worst case, not to avoid it, to exhaust its power. He wrote, rehearse in your mind exile, torture, wars, shipwreck, not to become paralyzed, to find out how much of your fear lives in the imagining, and how little in the thing itself. He did the exercise his therapist had suggested but never explained properly. He sat with the worst case and walked through it. He lost the job. He had the conversation with his wife. She did not leave. He found another job. Took 7 months. They moved to a smaller apartment. And something he had not expected. They were okay. Not ruined. Okay. Aristotle wrote, the brave person is one who fears the right things, in the right way, to the right degree, at the right time. Not the person who feels no fear. The person whose fear is proportionate to the actual thing. The worry he had carried for 3 years had not been protecting him. It had been practicing the disaster, over and over, until the disaster felt inevitable. Here is the question I want you to carry today. Not to answer, just to carry. What worry have you been practicing, instead of actually living? Share this with someone whose fear has become larger than the thing it fears. You probably already know who that person is. I will see you in the next moment of stillness.